Have you ever watched someone build an entire alternate reality just so they wouldn't have to take accountability for treating you like garbage? They disrespect you, they cross your boundaries, they completely violate your trust, and then through some twisted Olympic-level mental gymnastics, they somehow convince themselves that you are the one who owes them an apology. They sit there with their arms crossed, genuinely expecting you to come crawling back, head down, begging for their forgiveness. They want you to bend the knee. They want you to surrender your reality to their delusion. And for a long time, maybe you did. Maybe in the past, you were the one who always compromised. You were the one who swallowed your pride, apologized for things you didn't even do, just to keep the peace. You were the peacemaker in a war zone they created, but not this time. This time, you looked at their ridiculous expectation. You looked at their pathetic attempt to manipulate your guilt, and you gave them absolutely nothing but the coldest, most freezing shoulder they have ever experienced in their entire life. And bro, let me tell you, that single act of defiance has sent them into an absolute, irreversible tailspin. They are literally spiraling out of control right now. And today, we are going to break down exactly why your refusal to play their twisted game is the most devastating psychological weapon you possess. Let's dive deep into the dark psychology of the forced apology. Why do toxic, manipulative people demand an apology when they are the ones holding the smoking gun? It is entirely about power, control, and validation. To an unevolved, ego-driven manipulator, an apology from you is not about making peace. It is about submission. If they can force you to apologize, they successfully rewrite the history of what actually happened. If you say you are sorry, you are officially validating their delusion. You are taking the blame off their shoulders and putting it directly onto your own. It gives them the ultimate free pass to continue disrespecting you, because in their twisted mind, they have established that they are the victim and you are the aggressor. They feed off that dynamic. They literally consume your guilt as emotional supply. They need you to feel bad so they can feel good. They set the trap, baited it with guilt, and they were sitting there with a smug smile on their face, just waiting for the clock to run out until you finally broke down and gave them exactly what they wanted. They expected the old you. They expected the fragile version of you that was terrified of conflict, the version of you that couldn't stand the thought of someone being mad at you. They calculated their entire move based on your past trauma and your old people-pleasing habits. But what they completely failed to realize is that you have been doing the brutal work in the dark. You have been leveling up your mindset. You have been rewiring your subconscious. You have outgrown the desperate need to be liked by people who don't even like themselves. So when the moment came, when the tension peaked and everyone expected you to fold, you didn't. You didn't send the long, emotional paragraph. You didn't call them trying to clear the air. You didn't try to sit down and logically explain why you shouldn't have to apologize to them. You simply looked at the situation, recognized the absolute blinding disrespect of their demand, and you completely shut the door. You detached entirely. You gave them the cold shoulder. But I am not talking about a petty, childish, silent treatment where you are secretly checking your phone, hoping they notice you are mad. I am talking about absolute, profound, sub-zero indifference. You looked at them like a stranger on the street. You pulled all of your energy, all of your warmth, and all of your light entirely out of their orbit. You became an emotional iceberg. And bro, you have absolutely no idea the level of psychological destruction that takes place in a manipulator's mind when their primary source of power suddenly freezes over and locks them out. Let me tell you exactly what is happening in their brain right now. The moment they realized the apology wasn't coming, that smug, arrogant smile was wiped completely off their face. First came the disbelief. They thought you were just being stubborn. They told themselves to give it another day, assuming your guilt would eventually override your boundaries. So they waited, and the silence just grew louder and heavier and darker. Then, the disbelief mutated into pure, unfiltered confusion. They started checking their phone constantly, wondering if their subtle manipulations were even registering with you. They started analyzing their own behavior, not out of actual remorse, but out of sheer panic, trying to figure out how they miscalculated your reactions so badly. They genuinely thought they had the remote control to your emotions. But they keep pressing the button and nothing is happening on the screen. The batteries are dead and they don't know how to fix it. And that is exactly when the absolute, full-blown spiral begins. Because when a toxic person cannot extract a reaction out of you, they are violently forced to sit alone in the empty, silent room of their own mind. And for someone who constantly runs from their own demons, sitting in silence is pure, unadulterated torture. Your cold shoulder acts as a massive mirror that they cannot look away from. Without your apologies to validate their fake victimhood, they have to face the terrifying, crushing reality that they might actually be the problem. Your absolute silence is screaming the truth at them, and the volume is deafening. They are losing their minds because they no longer have a scapegoat to blame for their own miserable, chaotic lives. You can literally watch them unravel in real time. Because they can't get you to break, they start acting incredibly erratic. This is when the desperate baiting phase begins. They will post passive, aggressive quotes on their social media stories, praying that you watch them and feel a twinge of guilt. They will suddenly become best friends with people they know you don't even like, just to try and trigger a reaction of jealousy or anger. They will send flying monkeys, mutual friends or acquaintances, to casually bring their name up in conversation just to gauge your emotional state. They are literally starving for a drop of your energy. They are throwing everything at the wall, just hoping something, absolutely anything, will make you break your stoic, untouchable frame. But you are built entirely different now. You see right through the matrix of their manipulation. You look at their desperate, frantic attempts to get your attention, and you don't feel angry. You feel absolutely nothing. Maybe a tiny sliver of pity, but mostly just profound, unshakable indifference. You watch them exhaust themselves, running around playing these childish emotional games, while you are sitting back like a king on a throne, completely unbothered by the noise of the peasants below. You have finally realized that engaging with them, even to reject them or put them in their place, is a massive downgrade. You have learned that silence is the absolute highest frequency response to disrespect. Because you refuse to apologize, their entire smear campaign starts to completely backfire on them. They go around telling everyone who will listen how cold, heartless, and arrogant you have become. They paint this elaborate picture of you as this cruel villain who abandoned them for no reason. But here is the massive, fatal flaw in their plan. While they are frantically running around gossiping, looking chaotic, unstable, and deeply obsessed with you, you are moving in absolute, terrifying silence. You are completely focused on your goals, the high-value people around you. The people who actually matter and operate on a high frequency can easily see the massive contrast. They look at the manipulator, sweating, panicking, and constantly talking about you. And then they look at you, calm, collected, glowing, and completely focused on building an empire. It doesn't take a genius to figure out who the real toxic element was. Your silence literally exposes their insanity to the entire world, without you ever having to open your mouth to say a single word. While they are hopelessly trapped in this pathetic downward spiral, desperately trying to salvage their bruised and shattered ego, you are channeling all of that conserved emotional energy into the most aggressive, relentless level up of your entire life. You took the pure energy you used to waste on arguing, compromising, apologizing and people pleasing, and you injected it straight into your own veins. You are waking up every single morning with a dark, relentless, laser-focused ambition. You are hitting the gym like a machine, forging a physique and an aura that commands immediate respect. The second you walk into any room, you are dialing in your finances, building streams of wealth that will make you completely bulletproof and untouchable by small-minded, low-vibrational people. You are reading, learning, executing, and expanding your consciousness far beyond the petty, meaningless drama of their limited reality. You are actively building an environment around you that is so high quality, so completely uncompromising that their toxic behavior literally cannot survive in it. You have raised your standards so incredibly high that they simply do not meet the minimum requirements to even sit at your table anymore. And the most devastating, soul-crushing part for them? They have to watch you do it. They stalk your pages from fake accounts late at night. They hear about your massive success through the grapevine. They see you moving up in the world surrounded by much better people, living a life of absolute luxury, freedom, and peace. And they are violently hit with the brutal, undeniable truth. They realize that by trying to force you into submission, by demanding a fake apology you absolutely did not owe them, they accidentally pushed you right into your greatest transformation. They wanted to break you down, but they inadvertently gave you the exact fuel you needed to build yourself up. They thought that giving you the silent treatment would make you miss them and come crawling back, but it actually just gave you the perfect peace and quiet you needed to finally hear your own intuition and realize your true, infinite worth. They played a stupid game, and they won the ultimate stupid prize. They permanently, irreversibly lost access to the most high-value, authentic individual they will ever meet in their entire miserable lives. They are going to carry that heavy regret forever. Make absolutely no mistake about it, bro. 10 years from now, when they are still stuck in the exact same spot, dealing with the exact same pathetic drama, repeating the exact same toxic cycles, with a new rotation of victims, they are going to think about you. They are going to remember the person who saw right through their illusions. They are going to remember the person who had the absolute titanium backbone to stand their ground, look them dead in the eye, and give them the freezing cold shoulder instead of bending the knee to their ego. They will realize, in the quiet, lonely moments of their life, that they threw away a rare diamond because they were too obsessed with collecting cheap, easily controlled rocks. But you won't even remember their face. You will be so far ahead, so completely immersed in the beautiful masterpiece of your own life, that their entire existence will be nothing more than a faint, blurry memory of a harsh lesson you learned a very long time ago. You have completely, permanently checked out of their reality. You don't harbor any resentment. You don't waste time plotting revenge. You just keep moving forward with the ruthless, unstoppable, heavy momentum of a freight train that has cut its brakes. So let them spiral. Let them panic. Let them refresh your page 100 times a day looking for a sign that you still care. Let them talk to the empty walls about how unfair you are being to them. Keep your energy completely protected behind an iron gate. Keep your focus entirely inward on your own expansion. Never, ever apologize for protecting your peace, and never lower your vibration just to make a toxic person feel comfortable in your presence. Let your absolute freezing indifference be the final, devastating statement you ever make to them. Let the cold shoulder turn into a permanent, untouchable ghost. Stay completely unreachable. Stay brutally focused on the empire.